Hi there, I'm Drew Badger, the world's #1 English fluency guide, and in this video we'll be talking about the most powerful verb in English, especially for English language learners, and how to master it. We'll begin by talking about the top 4 verbs, and then we'll review this number 5. This is the most powerful one that's really the one we want to be focusing on, and that's because the top 4 are quite self-explanatory. Now, this just means that they're easy to understand and use, so these are be, do, have, and say. Now, you might listen or look at different lists of verbs online that say, okay, like maybe this verb is maybe number 2 or number 3. It doesn't really matter the actual specific frequency that these appear. They'll be in conversations. I've already used both of these or all of these when I'm speaking right now, but be, do, have, and say, these are all things that are quite easy to talk about. So be, this is just identity. Like this is a pen. We're talking about what is this? Is it a pen or is it not? This is just to be. Now, do is something that we use. It just means to have some action take place. So when we're doing one thing and want to do something else, often when we can't explain it, like I do karate or I do some other thing, if we can't really explain what the particular verb is, but it just means to do some kind of action, to do something, to make a motion or to move in some way. Now, if you have something, this also has a number of different uses, but typically have just means to physically have something or to figuratively have something. So I might maybe have this pen, but the idea in my mind, I also have that thing. So I can't physically hold the idea, but I have that thing as well. And also to say something, this is commonly used as well, but really there aren't a lot of different meanings that are confusing for people. So when I'm saying hello, I'm just, again, some words are coming out of my mouth and I am saying something, to say something. So be, do, have, and say, these are all maybe like the top 4 most common verbs that people will use in conversations, and none of them is really too difficult to understand. But the next one, the most powerful one, the most important one that really you should focus on, again, because the others are so easy, is get. Get really is one of the most common. Again, it's probably number 5, number 6, but it doesn't really matter like how frequently it appears. The thing is that it's really the number 1 verb that can be tricky for people because of its many different uses. So if you don't really understand what all of these uses mean together, the verb can be really tricky for people. But if you understand what they do mean, and that's what we'll cover in this video, then you develop much more confidence about using them. So let's look at a couple of different uses of get. First, we have the idea of just receiving something. So maybe I get a present from my friend for Christmas, or I get a new car, or even I get an idea. So it can be a physical thing that we receive from someone, or it could be even just like a non-physical thing. Like I receive, again, an idea. I got a great idea when I was at my friend's house yesterday, or I got a present from my grandmother for my birthday. So we're talking about moving from one place to another, but now I am holding that thing. I got something. I got this pen. I got this, particular thing because someone gave it to me. I received this thing. Now we can also talk about another meaning of get as buying something. So if I buy something from a store, it's also moving from the store to me. It's moving from one place to another, but now I hold that thing because I paid some money from it. So yesterday, I got this pen at a store, or maybe I got I even bought a new car. I was able to receive something from somebody else, but I paid money for that thing. So again, you're talking about receiving something either because you paid for it or because someone just gave it to you as a gift. Next, we can also get the opportunity to do something or get the chance to do something. So when you have the opportunity right now, this is something you have, and this is easy to understand. So right now you have the opportunity to practice speaking or to practice something to learn more about English with me. But if you're talking about getting the opportunity, usually it means you haven't received it yet. You might get the opportunity to take a nice vacation, or you might get the opportunity or get the chance to work at a different office or get a new job. Now, you yourself can also get from one place to another. Maybe I'm getting from my house to my job, so I just got home or I just got to work. We're talking about arriving at a particular location. Maybe I need to get to the airport after school, or I need to get home, or I need to get out of the rain. So I'm getting from one location into someplace else. So it's raining outside right now, and I need to get out of the rain and into my house to get out of the rain. Next, you can even get an idea from someone someone else that you're trying to understand. So let's say a friend of mine is explaining to me and I say, well, I guess I get that. I understand what you're saying. So instead of saying you understand, it's a more native and conversational and faster way to say that you get an idea. I got what you're saying. So you can even very quickly just say, I got it. So if a friend of yours is explaining something, we're at the factory and he's trying to show me how to do a particular thing, and I can say, oh, yeah, I got it. So do you understand how to do something? Do you get it? Do you get it? So he's trying to transfer something from himself to me. So he's trying to teach me something, or he's trying to explain to me how to do something. Do you get it? Yes, I got it. And the last example we'll look at with get is to get someone to do something for you. Now, this is even more complicated, but it's still the same idea. You're receiving the opportunity for someone else to provide something for you. So this is a really great way of describing, instead of you cutting your own hair, maybe I got my friend to cut my hair for me. So I got someone to do it. Again, I paid them, or I convinced them somehow, or I asked them nicely, or I said, hey, if you cut my hair, I will cut your hair. In any of these cases, again, we're convincing someone else to do something for us. I got my friend to do that. Maybe I got my friend to fix my car. So I asked him to fix my car, or I got my friend to teach me surfing, or I got my mother to teach me how to do some cooking. So I got my mother. I really wanted to learn how to make her special dish that she makes every Friday. So I said, hey, can you teach me? And if I want to describe that, I can say, oh, I got my mother to teach me something. Now, here's the tricky thing. Instead of trying to remember all of these different uses, typically you would see this in a textbook. It's like, okay, here are the different uses of get, or I'm going to write these down on a whiteboard behind me. You can get this and you can get that. Now, get means by, get means to arrive at a particular place. Get means to get an idea or to understand something or to have another person do something for you. If you try to remember all of these different uses, it will just confuse you in conversations. But I want you to get excited, again, to receive that excitement, to understand this. And really the way to master this, here's the simple way to master this really powerful verb, and it's just to understand the idea of possessing something. So it's like have. It's actually like have very similarly, but you're thinking about getting to a particular place or possessing a particular thing. Now, the easiest way to think about it is if I get a pen, the pen is not with me right now, but it's moving into my possession and now I hold it. So I have got the pen. I got this pen yesterday. It doesn't matter how I got the pen, so you don't have to remember, okay, can you use it for buying something, or if you find something on the street or whatever. It doesn't matter how it comes to you. You've got it now. I've got the pen. So right now I've got the pen, and maybe I could get something else. I could get an idea from somebody, or I could understand something. Again, it still means it's coming to me, and now I hold that thing. Now I possess it. But get, it kind of implies like it's moving from one place to another, but now you possess it. Now, in the same way, you can think about you possessing a location. Now, just like when you're arriving at a particular place, maybe I arrive at an airport, I got to that airport. So it just means I'm getting that location where I am. So I'm possessing that little place where I happen to be, even if I don't own the airport. It doesn't matter because my physical body is taking up that space. So that's why we use get, and we'll cover this a little bit more now very quickly with some phrasal verbs. The first one is to get at. If you're trying to get at the meaning of something, maybe the meaning is almost like in a different location, even though it's a figurative idea. So I'm here and I don't quite understand something, but okay, now I understand something. I get at the idea. I'm moving to something and now I possess it. So that idea of moving to something or approaching something, traveling, and then taking that position, again, this is something I possess now. So I get at, or I'm trying to understand the meaning of something. Now I get at what you're trying to say. Next, to get down. Now, this is a very simple one if you think about being in a position up here. So right now I am standing on a desk, or somebody is standing maybe on a beach and then they move down to a lower position. They are getting down into some other location. They are getting down. So instead of descend, I want to get from the second floor down to the first floor. So if I call a friend of mine and I say, hey, can you get down here? I really want him to come down quickly. So I'm saying, can you take the position down here with me? Can you get down here? Next, another common one, to get over someone, to get over someone. Now, if you think about maybe in your own life, you have a relationship with something. At first, the relationship is going really well, but then maybe something happens and you break up with that person. This is another phrasal verb that doesn't use get, but it just means to separate, to break up, like you're breaking something into two different pieces. So we're breaking something up and I'm moving away from that person in some way, like usually mentally and physically, but I can't forget about that person. I'm not able to get over them. In that way, we take an idea like trying to jump over something that's in your path, trying to pass something, but you can't get over that thing. So you're here, but you want to take this position here, so you can't get over it, to get over that thing. And finally, to get thrown by something, or to be thrown by something. Now, this just means that, again, you're confused by a particular idea. Maybe I was thinking about something, I got thrown by it. So you received something, you received an action of being thrown. I got thrown by something. So I'm trying to hold on to an idea, but the idea was too difficult, or I couldn't understand it, it was too confusing, and it threw me. So I got thrown by that particular thing. Always remember that with get, it's actually a really simple verb, but it's so powerful for the learners that know how to use it. And this just means understanding that it's the idea of possessing something. So it's not just buy or find or do anything. It's the idea of receiving something however you have it, but now you have this thing, whether it's a physical thing, a figurative thing, or even a space that you occupy. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this quick lesson, and I hope you feel a bit more powerful now understanding what get really means. If you have enjoyed this lesson and you'd like to learn more, do click on the link in this video or on the link in the description below this video to take our free fluency quiz. There are lots more things that you can learn, not only about improving your pronunciation, but how to build your vocabulary, how to meet native speakers, and whatever of these problems you struggle with, we can help you with that with personal advice. So click on the link in this video or on the link in the description below this video to learn more about that and take this simple quiz. I look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.